Hello, welcome back on the House News with me, Dadi Ramadan. In this episode, we'll present you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. But before we continue, let's see the headlines for today. Commission 1 urges the Indonesian military to strengthen transparency and accountability to rebuild public trust and promote public oversight of its performance. Commission 3 urged the government to increase funding for law enforcement agencies, emphasizing integrity and commitment in performing justice. The revision of the Criminal Procedure Code, or KUHAP, emphasizes a balance between the authority of law enforcement officers and the protections of citizens' rights. Lawmakers insisted reforming the Indonesian National Police must be comprehensive to deliver a real benefits to the people. As a law enforcement body connected to the public, Polri holds a major role in safeguarding national security and stability. If you are a foodie traveler, here's some delicious news. Thailand has been crowned the best food country in the world 2025. Commission 1 emphasized transparency in the Indonesian National Armed Forces could build public trust, prevent corruption and abuse of power. It also enhances accountability in carrying out their duties.
Amid the declining public trust in the Indonesian National Armed Forces, or TNI, Vice Chairperson of Commission 1 of the House, Dave Akbar Syafiqarno, urged the TNI commander and all personnel to focus on sharing positive information about the institution's achievements and program implementation. He said such efforts are important to highlight the TNI's role in defending national sovereignty. Dave hoped the TNI commander and regional commands would establish effective communication channels with the public. Clear communication allows the public to have a better understanding of the TNI's roles, functions, and responsibilities in protecting national sovereignty.
Transparansi menjadi salah satu kunci di semua kegiatan, semua program-program, misi-misi operasi militer perang ataupun selain perang yang ditugaskan kepada TNI itu disampaikan secara berkala kepada masyarakat melalui media sosial ataupun juga harian-harian yang ada sehingga masyarakat dapat mengetahui persis apa saja dan komunikasi jangan sampai terputus, jadi ketika ada kendala atau masalah dapat disampaikan langsung kepada rekan-rekan kita di Kodam untuk ditindaklanjuti.
In addition, Dave encouraged the Army, Air Force, and Navy to continue improving and reforming public services. He encouraged the NE to implement transparency and accountability principles, allowing the public to monitor the institution's performance and keep it aligned with humanistic values. From Surabaya, Rian Indrayana, TVR Parlemen, reports.
Commission 3 raised concern over the insufficient budget for law enforcement agencies compared to non-law enforcement institutions. The House urged the government to provide adequate funding to ensure officers can fulfill their duties effectively.
Member of Commission 3 of the House, Nasir Jamil, stated the current budget does not align with the scope of duties carried out by law enforcement personnel. Therefore, he asked the government to review and adjust the appropriate budget proportion for institutions such as the National Police, the Attorney General's Office, and the National Narcotics Agency and others. Furthermore, he reminded the dedication of law enforcement officers in fulfilling their duties represents the state's achievement in enforcing order and justice.
Dan tentu saja soal anggaran itu menjadi catatan bagi kami semua bahwa ke depan anggaran untuk penegakan hukum itu tidak boleh diremehkan, apalagi kemudian porsinya itu kecil dibandingkan dengan institusi-institusi lainnya. Jadi kami mau ingatkan lagi bahwa institusi penegak hukum dengan tugas dan kewenangannya itu adalah representasi fungsi negara. Kalau kita ingin fungsi negara itu lebih baik, maka mau tidak mau kita harus membaikkan, memberikan dukungan terutama anggaran kepada institusi penegak hukum di Indonesia bahwa mereka harus baik, tidak menyimpang dalam penegakan hukum, itu wajib sama-sama kita awasi.
Additionally, Jamil mentioned Commission 3 and the public will strictly monitor the budgetary support. A larger budget allocation requires strong integrity and commitment from law enforcement officials. He added, with integrity and dedication, law enforcement can maintain justice and protect the rights of all citizens. From Aceh, Ken Suari, TVR Parlemen, report.
Commission 3 emphasized the revision of the Criminal Procedure Code must prioritize human rights protection and legal certainty for the public. The House also urged law enforcement to restrict arrests and detentions during investigation, except in urgent or unavoidable cases.
Member of Commission 3 of the House, Iwayan Sudirta, stated numerous arrests and detentions have sparked public criticism for allegedly violating human rights. Sudirta mentioned every legal action should be based on objective and proportional reasons. Furthermore, he said before conducting detention, law enforcement should consider alternative measures such as financial or personal guarantees as well as travel restrictions to prevent suspects from escaping.
Memang penahanan tidak dilarang, tapi persyaratan untuk ditahan itu dibuat ketat sekali. Lebih baik memberikan kewenangan lain, memperlancar perkara dengan cara tidak menahan, misalnya menggunakan jaminan uang atau orang. Jadi kan nggak perlu ditahan kalau udah penjamin. Kalau di luar negeri pakai begitu.
The major concern in the revision of the Criminal Procedure Code is the weak protection of suspect and defendants' rights as well as the excessive powers of law enforcement officers that are still insufficiently regulated. Commission 3 demands the revision implement the principle of due process of law, including by clarifying and strengthening the right to legal assistance from the investigation stage. From Kendari, South Sulawesi, Rangga Wijaya, TVR Parlemen, reports.
After the break, we'll bring you more updates on the National Police reform, so stay tuned on House News. The Indonesian public continues to aspire for professional and humanistic police force. However, recent incidents such as the death of Afan Kurniawan, No Viral, No Justice movement, and other controversial cases indicate this vision has yet to be realized. These events have once again intensified public pressure for comprehensive reform within the Indonesian National Police.
In response to growing public demands, the Presidential Palace announced plans to form a police reform committee. President Prabowo Subianto appointed former Deputy Chief of Police Ahmad Doviri as Special Presidential Advisor for Public Security, Order, and Police Reform on September 17. This step is considered as an important move to restore the police's original mission, which is to serve the public and uphold justice. Member of Commission 3 of the House, Bob Hassan, emphasized police reform cannot be achieved by restructuring the organization or personnel. He believed the reform should begin at the core of the law enforcement system, ensuring the principles of equality before the law and restorative justice are applied. Consequently, the National Police or Polri can transform into a professional and humanistic institution instead of an instrument of power.
Sebagai anggota Komisi 3 menyambut reformasi Polri ini tentunya mengembalikan kepada makna atau definisi reformasi itu sendiri ya. Artinya apa yang menjadi tujuan, apa yang menjadi visi misi daripada Polri itu agar tercapai. Ke depan ini yang harus kita ambil langkahnya adalah prinsip-prinsip sistem ya, sistem penegakan hukumnya seperti apa, pelayanan terhadap masyarakatnya seperti apa, kan seperti itu kan. Jadi reformasi Polri itu kita berharap equality before the law ini coba dikedepankan sehingga contohnya ada perselisihan antara masyarakat dengan HGU, berarti ada pengusaha, ada masyarakat. Polri bukan langsung tiba-tiba melindungi investor atau investasi gitu loh, tetapi coba terlebih dahulu equality before the law ya, artinya sama-sama haknya masyarakat apa tuntutannya, kemudian pengusaha apa juga tuntutannya, di situ ditengahi. Itulah sebenarnya yang menjadi inspirasi bagi keadilan restoratif. Itulah yang menjadi harapan bangsa dan itulah juga menjadi harapan masyarakat ya. Artinya masyarakat publik ingin Polri direformasi, sehingga Polri dapat menegakkan hukum yang berkeadilan restoratif.
However, before the president shall officially form the Police Reform Committee, the National Police Chief had already established an internal team called the Police Reform Transformation Team, consisting of 52 officers, 47 senior officers, and 5 middle-ranking officers. The House viewed the formation of this internal reform team as a positive response to the presidential initiative. The internal team is expected to assist the Police Reform Committee in carrying out its duties.
Kan memang kita sudah cek dan sudah juga disampaikan ke media bahwa tim yang dibentuk oleh kepolisian itu dalam rangka menyambut komisi reformasi yang akan dibentuk oleh Presiden. Dan setahu saya hal tersebut sudah disampaikan kepada Presiden tentang maksud dan tujuannya. Demikian. Jadi untuk mempermudah komisi reformasi yang dibentuk Presiden ketika akan masuk ke kepolisian dalam rangka menjalankan tugasnya.
The long and challenging journey of police reform is an effort to restore Polri's true identity as a protector, guardian, and servant of the people. This transformation is not merely about policy or structure, but about rebuilding the institution's moral foundation and strengthening its bond with the public. Every small step toward behavioral and cultural change brings Polri closer to excellence. An excellence defined not by rank, power, or weapons, but by integrity and public trust. However, amid these ongoing efforts, one question continues to resonate among the people. How far has police reform really progressed by Mr. President?
When we return, we'll have more interesting stories on travel around the world, so stay tuned on House News. Thailand has been crowned for the world's best destination for food in 2025, securing the top global ranking with an impressive score. The Southeast Asian culinary paradise earned stunning points, placing it above Italy and Japan, which came in second and third.
Thailand once again shines on the global stage with a remarkable achievement. At the prestigious Condé Nast Traveler's Reader's Choice Awards 2025, the country was officially crowned the world's best culinary destinations, earning an almost perfect score. Bangkok, the nation's capital, is home to 7 restaurants listed among the world's 35 best restaurants this year. But beyond fine dining, every corner of Thailand tells a unique culinary story. From northern herbal soups to southern spicy curries. And of course, Thailand's legendary night markets make eating feel like an endless adventure. Every street is alive with sizzling woks, colorful plates, and the smell of lemongrass and chili in the air. Popular Thai dishes include staple foods such as pad thai, tom yum goong, green curry, and mango sticky rice. Beyond food, Thailand continues to build its image as one of the world's top tourist destinations. With its white sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and lively cities, the country attracts millions of visitors each year. From the serene temples of Chiang Mai to the vibrant nightlife of Phuket and Pattaya, Thailand offers something for every kind of traveler. Supported by the Tourism Authority of Thailand, the government is working to boost sustainable tourism while preserving its natural and cultural heritage. These efforts aim to create a more balanced and inclusive travel experience, highlighting the country's rich diversity. At the same time, Thailand's culinary excellence continues to attract visitors. Food has become more than just a part of the travel experience.
Indonesia has marked another milestone in its cultural preservation journey. The Ministry of Culture has announced 514 cultural elements recommended for designation as Indonesia's intangible cultural heritage.
Indonesia once again proves as a country with reach. From Sabang to Merauke, every region has its own traditions, dances, cuisines, and rituals reflecting deep local wisdom. 2025 marks a historic moment as the Ministry of Culture officially designates 514 new elements of intangible cultural heritage, or ICH. This is the highest number since the program began in 2013. Out of 522 proposals submitted, only 8 require further refinement, while the rest have officially earned ICH status. These newly recognized cultural elements come from different forms of culture, such as dance, rituals, cuisines, folk arts, and traditional crafts. Among them are Mapache tradition from South Sulawesi, the Ganta dance from East Kalimantan, Songket weaving from Pandai Sike in West Sumatra, the Ngaben cremation ritual from Bali, and the Nasi Minyak dish from South Sumatra. The ICH designation program is built on 4 key pillars: protections, development, utilization, and community empowerment. Through this initiative, cultural heritage is not only legally protected and documented, but also encouraged to become part of the creative economy and improving cultural tourism. Today, many traditions are presented in modern formats without losing their cultural roots, such as Reok Ponorogo performances featured in international festivals, contemporary batik embraced by younger generations, and traditional dishes like rendang and satay as Indonesia's symbols of culinary diplomacy. With the 2025 editions, Indonesia's total intangible cultural heritage entries have now reached more than 3,000 items. This shows Indonesia's effort to protect its traditions.
MRT Jakarta users with chronic illnesses are now classified as priority passengers and are allowed to use priority seats during their journey. Users with conditions such as heart disease or stroke can request a purple priority pin as a sign that they require special attention.
MRT Jakarta has introduced a new category of recipients for its priority pin program, chronic disease survivors. This program gives passengers with specific health conditions such as kidney failure, heart disease, or cancer the right to priority seating during their trip. Since its launch in 2019, the Priority PIN program has covered 3 categories: passengers with disabilities or hearing impairments, pregnant women, and the elderly. Now a 4th category has been added, marked by a purple pin complementing the blue pin for persons with disabilities, yellow for elderly, and pink for pregnant women. Each color carries symbolic meaning. Blue represents calmness, yellow signifies alertness, pink symbolizes new life, and purple stands for resilience and the fighting spirit of chronic disease survivors. Passengers who wear the pin can use special facilities such as elevator, wide passenger gate, and priority seats. Beyond being an identification badge, the pin also serves as a form of non-verbal communication in public spaces. Other passengers can easily recognize those entitled to priority seating without the need for verbal explanations, which can sometimes be uncomfortable. For MRT staff, the pin helps them identify and assist passengers who need additional attention, especially during busy times or service disruptions. To obtain the pin, passengers can apply directly at designated stations by presenting their ID and supporting documents according to the category. This program is more than just a policy. It's a small step that transforms how people interact in public transportation. Through the simple symbolism of color, MRT Jakarta reminds everyone that public spaces should foster mutual understanding, not only sharing seats, but also sharing empathy.
And that's the House News for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of House News only on TVR Parlemen.